Are you making a mess with your online video? Let's face it, half the videos you guys are making, I can't even sit through 10 seconds. And it's not because I'm Mr. Snooty Video Man, okay? It's because there are basic principles that are not being followed that are designed to hook the viewer, bring me in, and make me fall in love with what it is you're saying to me. Today, our guest is going to show you how she built a huge company, how she built a huge channel, and even has a third business that she's running incredibly successfully. Video is a huge part of that. Melissa Maker joins the show. You don't want to go anywhere. Today's show is going to blow your mind. Welcome back to the Business of Video podcast.
You're listening to the Business of Video podcast, where the world's top YouTubers and marketers talk about what's working with online video. This podcast is recorded live on Facebook every week, and you can join us when you visit businessofvideopodcast.com. And now your hosts, Owen Video and Nick Naiman.
Welcome back to the Business of Video podcast, where we sit in blackness for seconds before Melissa switches the right button. Welcome back to the Business of Video podcast, where we go behind the scenes of successful video marketing campaigns to help you build your business. I'm Owen here with Nick Naiman every Wednesday, live on Facebook, YouTube, and iTunes. So you can give me 5. That's right. Just type 5 in the comment section right now. That will subscribe you to the show if you're watching us on Facebook, and if you're watching us on YouTube or iTunes, you're listening in, just click that big old subscribe button so that you don't fall behind, but instead move ahead in the business of video marketing. Nick, welcome to the show. Man, when was the first time you had a lucid dream?
You know what? I've never had a lucid dream, actually.
I thought
I went through this thing. I went through this thing for a while to where I was actually like reading books on, like how to actually lucid dream.
Yeah.
And then I just lost interest or whatever. But I think it would be amazing, but it's never actually happened to me. How about you?
I don't even know what it means, to be honest with you.
Okay. Basically, a lucid dream is where you have control.
Wow.
So it's like
really?
you're in the dream. Yeah. So it's like you're in the dream. So like, let's say, for example, like, those dreams where you're like going and you're just kind of like jumping. Like
yeah,
you're actually,
and like you can't, yes.
You're taking these huge steps. So basically what it is you actually come to the realization, hey, wait a minute, I'm in a dream. And then you can actually take over from there. And you're like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to jump anymore. I want to fly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that I've had these dreams where I've had these dreams where like a giant monster is chasing me, right? And it's like a monster I know I can defeat, but I can't run. Like my legs just won't move. You guys ever had Beanie Draws is saying, howdy y'all, I'm still awake. Well, maybe Beanie Draws, you ever had a lucid dream? What is it about lucid dreaming that you guys would love to know about? I think that we could. Marcus is saying, I do want to try some sensory deprivation. That's interesting. I think Joe Rogan does that, right? He kind of sits in a saltwater bath.
They have one of those here actually right down the street from me to where you can go, and it's basically like this capsule that you climb inside of, and then they put this, it's like a salt water there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it basically makes it to where you literally float inside of this capsule and you're closed off from everything. And the only thing that you hear is just every now and then, if you decide to move or something like that, you'll hear just the water swishing around a little bit, but it's basically, it's almost like you're levitating and you're just sitting there in this like salt/mineral water.
Yeah.
Just like,
does it make you itchy?
Not really. No.
Yeah. Different types of water can make my skin itchy. Launchpad Astronomy logging in from YouTube saying it's 12 noon here, and I'm struggling to stay awake.
Hey, it's midnight here. I don't want to hear it. It's midnight here.
Yeah, 9 a.m. here, buddy. Hey, we're all in this together, Nat, man. Take your pills and wake up. Geezer Skateco logging in. Good to see you, Geezer. Spent some time on your website last night. Says, oh, those dreams. Yeah, I had a couple of those. Usually I wake up and fall back asleep realizing I'm in a dream. Ironically, Geezer, that's probably the dream. It's the dream that you're dreaming. It's just something. All I'm saying is
right now.
That's right. You're probably, and it's the best dream you've had all week. It's the Business of Video podcast, folks. I need to get that twinkle sound effect. But we're just having fun. It's Wednesday morning. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. I'm hanging out with my good buddy Nick Naiman, and we're about to bring on a phenomenal guest to the show. It's election time here in the U.S. Last night was a big election, and it's really interesting because I woke up this morning and I went onto Facebook, and everyone is pretty much still happy with everyone else. I would say that that's a win for American politics. Do you find, is there a lot of political strife out in Thailand, Nick, where you are?
Man, is there ever. So much that it's actually not even legal, really, depending on what I would say about it. It's not even legal for me to discuss it.
Wow.
On the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know
So we'll just default right back on over to U.S. politics, and that just kind of gives you the taste of how things are.
Man, I'll tell you, it's really interesting to see what's going on in the world of politics and seeing everybody sort of like, we got our second live camera back in the back there. We got our second live camera. That's kind of neat to see that. Everybody getting along and everybody, because that makes for good business, and good business helps us to thrive. And you know what? That reminds me, let's talk about your business for a second, because look, if you're anything like most businesses that I've seen lately, you're doing okay. You're getting a lead. You're getting some deals every now and then, but you're waiting for that explosive moment of explosive growth to happen in your business. How many of you guys have experienced this before? Let me know in the comment section below. Because if that's you, if sales are just kind of coming in, but you're failing to get to that next point in your business, then you need to check out the YouTube guide for business owners. That's right. You can finally start getting customers on YouTube when you build your YouTube videos the right way. Just go to youtubetoolkit.com. Check that out. Designed for service-based businesses, small businesses everywhere. The YouTube Toolkit will show you how to get to that next level in your business. And business, I think, is a pretty important thing.
Absolutely it is.
It keeps things moving.
It does. I was going to say, if business isn't well, then everything else isn't well, because it's got that ripple effect, right? Oh, wait a minute! All of a sudden, I can't eat anymore. What's going on?
Yeah. Or it's like you're thinking about, where am I going to eat, and you're using your mental energy. You guys ever gone through this where it's like, oh, where's the next sale going to come from? Like I need another lead. I need another sponsorship deal to come in. If I'm going to have you guys ever experienced this before? Let me know in the comment section, because when you're using that mental energy, and I think Nick, you'll really jive with me on this. When you're using all of that mental energy to think about, like, where is my next deal coming from, or where is the next influx of money going to come from, what you're doing is you're using mental energy that could otherwise be spent on the genius of your business or of your video platform. You know what I'm saying, Nick?
Absolutely, I do. And I think that's where burnout comes in too.
Yeah.
Because like when people are like just going for it and they're just putting out all of that mental energy and not taking a break of any kind, it can definitely wear on you. I've been through this several times, actually, to where you're just so in the grind, even if things are going okay. You're just so in the grind, and so like, got to go that if you don't stop and just take a second, sometimes you just kind of take a day or take like a half day for yourself, or if you can't, take a few days or a week. It can make a really big difference. That's why when people go on vacations and they go to conferences and all that stuff, they come back so charged, because they've given themselves that space away from everything. Oh, yeah. And I personally think that's extremely important.
I think I couldn't agree more. I feel the same way. You really have to understand what bottlenecks your creativity, right? What is stopping you from getting you to that next level, and take some time off to just process some of those things. And you know what I tend to do, because I'm such a hustler, right? Like, I really am. Like, I'm not like Captain Hustle, like hustle culture. What's that?
I said, you're a hustler, baby.
I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. But here's the thing, is I always take time. I listen to my body. For example, I get up and I run or I work out just about every day at 5:30 a.m. Now, today I woke up and I was like, my seat the lower third. So it's true, though. So I wake up today 5:30 and my body is just like, no, you need to rest. And it's like, it would be easy to go, no, I gotta hustle like that, make that deal, make that money, man. But it's like, at the same time, it's like my body is telling me to rest. I think I'm gonna rest today so I can come bring the energy, bring the heat for the show, and make sure that as I continue Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, I still have that energy to keep going. What about you guys? Do you have like a rest schedule? Are you just like hustler 24/7? Love to go to the comments and hear from you guys a little bit on that. I'm hearing from Graham Hoffman. Graham Hoffman is saying, dreaming means I'm sleeping, and sleeping means I'm not working. Ain't nobody got time for that. I love it, Graham Hoffman. Graham Hoffman's logging in. He says it's 5 p.m. here. The show is worldwide. The business of video. We should have called it the business of video world at this point. Jay Houselander logging in. Robert C. Stern, tried and true. Good to see you, buddy. Dean Jonathan logging in. Davia Gorman typing 5. Welcome to the family, guys. Remember, you can type 5 in the comment section right now. That'll subscribe you to the show. Dean Jonathan is saying, yep, I did 500 days of straight daily vlogging, and I burned out. Yeah, would you recommend that, Nick? 500 days of daily straight vlogging?
Absolutely not. With all this stuff, man, like if it's your business, if it's your YouTube channel, if it's whatever it is that you're trying to do, even like, like working out or whatever, like, you have to pace yourself with everything, because, if you don't pace yourself, I mean, I'm all about like going all in on something, but you still, even in that regard, you still have to pace yourself, because if you don't pace yourself, then 1, you're not going to have that space that we were just talking about. Yeah. And 2, it's going to come to that point to where it's just like, I'm giving all I've got, and then all of a sudden, I don't have any more. I just went off the cliff. I don't have any more. And now I'm like in free fall mentally, because I just gave it everything that I had. And even though things might be going well or not, I don't have the energy, and I'm just going to crash, and I'm just going to feel horrible, and I'm going to start this whole downward spiral thing.
Yeah,
so absolutely not. I think pacing yourself for the sake of sustainability is something that you need to do. And Owen, I just want to say that I'm glad that you love your mother. I see your mug right there.
Yeah. We've got, my wife and I got these I Love Mom and I Heart Dad mugs for our kids to give to us for Christmas last year, right? Because we're teaching them the value of buying gifts for them to give to other people, I guess. But I love how, like, the only day that mattered was the mom and dad mugs was the day we got the mugs, right? Like, after that, it was just kind of like, just give me the coffee, right?
Right. I don't care what you put it in. Pour it in my hand. I don't care. Just give me the coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I got 2 hands. That's 2 fisting in our house. It's just underneath. It's hot. It's so hot. It's splashing on my face to wake up. Marcus Campbell is saying he likes to play it by ear. I totally get that. Listen to your body. See what your body is doing. Kathy Fit is saying 500 days of vlogging. Wow. Happy Trails hiking. We love seeing Happy Trails here. Air 5 to you is saying, I take half a day on Saturday and half a day on Sunday. The hustle can drive you and your customers crazy. Couldn't agree more. I love to hear that you care so much about your customers enough to where you're willing to take a rest and give them. Let me tell you, I had some customer calls last week where I was like, I don't want to do these calls. I'm just not in the zone. I took a little breather, came back, and I was like, hey, man, like a whole change of attitude. So I hope you guys are clearing up some of that mind space, and I hope that you're keeping a clean space, because having a clean space, a clean working environment, I'm not talking about neat and tidy 24/7, but general organization, right? So that you have plans for the mess that you make every single day, and keeping a clean space on your desk and in your head is going to help you to get more customers and get to that next level in your business. And that's why we brought on our guest today, Melissa Maker. Every week, Melissa delivers new videos, expert advice on cleaning products, tools, DIY, substitutes, and practical time-saving solutions to everyday problems. Melissa has appeared on the Today Show, has been featured in InStyle, Real Simple, Better Homes and Garden, and now the Business of Video podcast. Welcome to the show, Melissa Maker. Let's get a round of applause. We get a round of applause for Melissa Maker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. And, this is the second time I've had a chance to interview you on the show. So I know a little bit about your background, but not everyone else in our audience does. So please take a moment and give us a snapshot of your business and what you're doing now.
Okay. It probably won't be a moment. It's more like 45 moments, but I'll try to keep it. Okay. In 2006, I started a cleaning service company here in Toronto where I live. And then in 2011, my husband and I decided to start making YouTube videos as a way to get more customers for our cleaning service in Toronto. And the YouTube channel kind of took on a life of its own. It's grown. It's now over 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
And over 150 million video views. And I had a book come out in March of 2017. And then I always mix up the dates now if it was 2015 or 2016. But we decided to launch a line of premium quality microfiber cloths because people were asking for them. I knew all about them, and there just wasn't a good substitute on the market. So now we have 3 businesses.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, how do you and you have you're single, no kids, right? Like you got this easy lifestyle, right?
Oh, you know it. Not really.
Tell us about that. You're also balancing family life.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is when I started the service company, I was 24. So you're right. I had no kids, no mortgage, single. It was very easy. Well, actually, I was dating my husband at the time. But I had my daughter in February of 2018. So she's about 8 months old now. And if you see the bags, that's because we haven't quite adjusted to daylight savings time yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, my husband and I have a mortgage where we've got a lot going on personally, with like all good things, but there's a lot to manage in our personal lives, and taking time for each other and having a great relationship and being parents and being husband and wife and having friends. And then, of course, running these 3 businesses. So there's a lot.
That's exciting. So run through us down the 3 businesses real quickly, what they are and what you do for them.
Sure. So the cleaning service company, that's been in business for about 13 years. We have about 25 cleaning specialists, as we call them, and they go out and they service homes and offices. For that business, I've gotten a really good process down. I have 2 people at my office, 2 key people at my office who take care of the majority of day-to-day. I go in once every couple of weeks to do strategy conversations and figure out plans with my office team. And then, of course, I'll troubleshoot if anything's necessary. And I'm always thinking of new ways to grow and innovate the business, which we can get into another time. The next business is our digital media company. We call that Clean Digital Productions, Inc., because that's what we incorporated it as. And that houses all of our digital businesses, from our YouTube earnings, sponsored deals, our website, any affiliate earnings that we have. My book revenue goes there. And in January of 2019, we're launching an e-course. And I have to thank you for that, Owen, because you gave me the idea to do that. So thank you. Well, you gave me the confidence to do it. I thought about it a while ago, but then when I met you initially, I was like, I'm doing that e-course.
Now, give our audience kind of a sense on that. Where did we meet? How did that come about? That's actually a pretty good story.
Sure. I will tell that story, and I'll just tell you quickly that 3rd business, which is the microfiber cloths business, which is our products business. Okay, so you and I met at ClamorCon, which is an amazing conference that takes place every year, generally in Palm Springs. I think they're keeping it there this year at least, where creators get to come together. It's a really positive space. People just want to share and learn and network. And I've loved it. I cannot wait to go back next year. And I love that it's family friendly too, because our daughter was 2 months at the time. And you were giving a conference, you were giving a talk, I want to say, I think it was on email marketing.
It was on course building. Yeah, course building. And you saw the funnel with the email and how it drives people. Yes, it was on course building. Yes.
Okay. So as soon as I saw that, I was saying to my husband, I'm like, we got to get on this course. I'd been talking about it for the longest time. And then after I saw you and heard your story, I really felt, honestly speaking, I felt very empowered afterward. I'm awesome. If Owen can do it, I can do it.
That's awesome. That's super exciting. And, coursework is a great way for creators to be monetizing, and it really doesn't take as much creativity as people think. Like, really, if you just create an environment where your fans can pay and gather around your content, they'll do it. If you build it, he will come. Now, of course, the more value you put into a course, the bigger it can be and the more money you can make. So that's really exciting. So you've got 3 different businesses. You've got this local service-based cleaning business. You've got your digital media business, and you've got the microfiber business. So they're all sort of related, but they're all sort of different. How does video tie into all that? And how are you using video to grow your empire?
Well, I have to say, we feel very grateful as business owners that we have the skill of producing video, because it is a saleable skill. You can use it in so many different ways. For a cleaning service business, we've now put up a video on our hiring page where I essentially talk to the potential candidate, and I explain what it's like to work for our company. We're getting a video up on our landing page, which I think will really help conversion rates as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the YouTube channel, of course, initially we started that to funnel clients into our Toronto-based service, but YouTube is global, so that strategy works. It does work a little bit, but I have to say the YouTube channel just became its own thing. And every now and then we'll get a fan calling to book a cleaning in Toronto. But I found that most people who are booking cleaning services don't want to watch videos about how to clean things. So that was an interesting lesson to learn after. And then with the microfiber cloths business, oh my gosh, we use video. Essentially at the end of every video, one of our calls to action is go check out our website and learn more about our cloths. And then I kind of take the Bob Barker approach where I get my plug in and I talk about my cloths as much as I can in our and we get some really nice beauty shots of me cleaning with them. It's good. Like, it's a lot of fun. And we've used video in so many other ways too. You know, we've done work for associations where they have no experience in social media. We just did this last week with the world's largest cleaning organization. We went to their huge trade show in Dallas, Texas. They've never had any exposure to social media. For someone who could do video, they brought us in. It was a paid gig, and we filmed an incredible video for them. My husband's actually edited it now. Yeah.
That's great. So you're using video really on all fronts. It's like all hands on deck when it comes to
I mean, I can even give you other ideas. Like when I have to create training material for my cleaning service company, one of the things I will be looking to do in 2019 is to create video content that I can use to just train my staff as a way to save money, save resources, make it repeatable and simple without an individual having to do it all the time. So I think video really leads to automation as well.
Oh, what a huge point. Video and automation. You know, we've often talked with our clients about how video bends space and time, right? And it enables you, you know, this person that you want to hire or this potential client, right? They can hear a pitch for your service at 3 a.m. when they get home. You're asleep with the baby and never even have to be involved in that conversation. So being able to scale your business on that regard is huge. So I see this. I love how you're using video in the operations and the fulfillment side. Let's talk about, are you using video on the lead generation side? Now, you talked a little bit about how the YouTube channel doesn't do much for local business, and that very interesting points there. Are you doing any video specifically in the local area to get new business? And what does your sales funnel look like?
So I haven't actually leveraged our video skills the way I think we should be for the cleaning service company. And that's something that in 2019 we're going to be working on a little bit more thoroughly. What I have done is we filmed this video. We're just waiting for it to be cut down and put on the website. You know, there's a million things going on. So sometimes
of course.
But we do have this one video there, and it's designed, as you say, to give someone your sales pitch at any time during the day. But essentially, that our funnel works is we do, and we've been spoiled. We've had to do very little marketing over the years because we rank really well. But now we're actually taking a more active approach to marketing for the service company instead of just being reactive.
Yeah.
But we take our leads. We have a really nice, sleek website, a great piece of cloud-based software. When somebody wants an inquiry, they fill out their information. It goes directly to the people at my office, and they respond to that inquiry. If it's during the day, within minutes, and if it's overnight, they'll get back to it first thing in the morning.
Beautiful. So video isn't even a massive part of your inbound sales process. It's something that you use more on other parts of your business.
That's right. And I mean, I know how successful it can be. And it's one of those things where we've been so busy doing all these other things. So I haven't even explored the opportunities that are available with building a sales funnel and video.
Yeah. What's the problem, Melissa? You need to jump on that. Jeez.
Owen, just give me 4 hours a day. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, right. 3 businesses and a child is nothing. That's child's play. meanwhile, I'm just trying to get out of bed on time, folks. I have no idea what's going on in my life. Okay, so now we've sort of set the framework for Melissa Maker, and we want to open up the floor for you guys to ask your questions on how she grew her business, how she grew her channel, and how she's launching a new product in the midst of all of that. We would love to hear your questions in the comment area. And our producer, Melissa Media, who's running the show from behind the scenes, if I miss any questions, be sure to pop them up on screen, and we'll do our best to get to everybody. So, Melissa Maker, you have got this outrageously cool YouTube channel, and you've recently got to how many subscribers?
So I don't know the exact number at this given moment, but we did hit 1 million subscribers a few weeks ago, and it was madness. We went crazy. We were so excited. It just feels like such an accomplishment. I mean, for anyone who creates on YouTube, you know how hard you work for each subscriber, and to think that we finally got to 1 million, I mean, it's validation for what we do, and it's a true honor.
So let's talk about
congratulations.
Congrats on that. Yeah. Huge feat, right? So let's talk about that. Melissa Maker, you have 1 million subscribers. What is the biggest tip you would give us for growing our channels on YouTube?
I mean, aside from the things that we're always told about being consistent and having grabby thumbnails, I think what made the difference for us is that we had an edge with our content. So a lot of people in our space will put videos out and they'll be like, oh, I'm the perfect person and I love cleaning and my house is clean all the time. And I think from a relatability standpoint, there's a missing connection there because I'm not that person. However, what I did and what my edge was and is I've always been honest. Like, I hate cleaning. I really hate it. I could flip my computer around right now and show you what my actual legit kitchen looks like right now. It's not perfect. And I'm okay with that. So I think the audience knows that I kind of rag on myself and I make jokes about cleaning, and they all know, like, I'm not really into it, but I make videos to help. That's been my edge, and I think that has been what's made our channel so successful. So for anybody looking to grow, offer something unique and different that no one else in the space is doing.
We got a great question coming in from Geezer Skate Co. He says, automation is definitely something I'm trying to look for, setting up systems now. What are some of the big systems that have helped you, Melissa Maker, and grow your company and get it to that next level?
I'm sort of embarrassed to say this. I don't know much about automation. When I was at my conference last week for cleaning service, like, it was a big cleaning convention. So we learned a lot about all kinds of different aspects of cleaning, but also running a cleaning business. And all of these guys were talking automation. So I had on my phone, I'm like, learn about automation. And I posted up a job post, and I felt like I was posting something in Greek. I didn't even know what I was talking about. So I'm just actually starting to delve into it right now for my service company.
Yeah.
Because I really think that a lot of important tasks, but tasks that don't require a lot of mental juice, just require time, can be moved to automation, and that can really help build. And then from the microfiber cloth business, I think that if we can create a better sales funnel right up your alley, Owen, that would actually help us improve our conversion rates as well. And I think for the e-course, well, I'm working with a company who's helping me with that. And the reason I did that is because I knew I needed automation, and I outsourced it because I didn't have the time to figure it out.
So what are some of the tasks a creator could outsource to save time on growing a channel like yours?
That is a good question. I haven't thought about that before.
Did you build your whole channel? Like, do you do all of it, like, inside your house? It's like you, your husband, you guys make the thumbnails, you guys do all of that? Or are you working with companies, contractors on the side to get that done? 1 million subscribers, no joke, right?
It's no joke. My husband and I worked on it together until, I want to say, maybe we hit 300,000 or 400,000. Okay. Then we brought in a best friend who still works with us to this day as our EP, and he does some business development. He also has he's sort of like you in that he understands computery things.
Yeah. As long as it's a Mac, I understand it. Yeah, totally. I understand all the language of a pre-built organized, can't mess up Mac program. That's right.
But I mean, systems, and he knows a lot about MailChimp and ActiveCampaign and those programs. So he works a lot on that. He can do a lot of back-end things on WordPress. He's been instrumental in building our microfiber cloth business. And then we also have an EA who works with us who does so much more than what an executive assistant would ever imagine doing.
Right,
He works
right.
all aspects of the business, but it has been the four of us. Rarely will we I mean, if we're cramming, we might outsource a little bit of editing, but that might happen once or twice a year.
Wow.
It's generally the two of us working together.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys find a lot of joy doing that? Like, that's something you guys enjoy doing?
We love it. And the four of us, the service company is separate. That's run by a different team. But the four of us who do the clocks business and the digital business, we're like a little family. You know, we have a big Christmas party for the couple, husband and I, and then them and their spouses, and all of our kids know each other. It's like a real family environment. And one of them our EA is about to go on maternity leave, and I'm like, do I have any white hair? Like, I'm a little bit freaking out about that. Family member for a little bit. I know she's coming back, but yeah, it's been the four of us, and we really, really enjoy working together.
That's wonderful. I'd love to hear from our audience. Is the video creation process something you guys enjoy and you want to do, or is that something you want to outsource? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. I know for me,
I want to talk about your
guy.
thumbnails. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about your thumbnails real quick as well, if you don't mind. So before the show, I was going through your thumbnails, and I was looking at the progression of, you know, like when you first started on YouTube up to now. And I think it's absolutely amazing. Like, if you look through all of those thumbnails, just the transition that you've had in terms of like image quality, you know, the way that you're actually shooting the images themselves, what you're actually putting on the thumbnail. What has been your motivation, like, just for those changes as you're going through, just growing with the growing process itself?
Yeah, I mean, my husband, Chad, he spends a lot of time obsessing over the little nitty-gritty things that channels need to really succeed. So that picture of me holding up the bananas, he found, and you can see that yellow cup right behind me. There is it, right there, that big yellow mug. Sometimes you'll see it come up in the thumbnail. He's found that the color yellow does really well for us. So he likes to include yellow. He loves bright colors. Whereas a lot of people, you know, if you look at their Instagram feeds, it's all like washed out and, you know, not colorful. Chad's like right into color. And he's just thought about, okay, do we do a branded stripe along the side? We did that for years. And then everyone started doing that. So he's like, okay, we got to change it up a bit. And then we'll take thumbnails we'll take thumbnail photos when we're filming. And sometimes, you know, we'll do like the shock face. There's my shock face. We'll do those. Sometimes they work, but you can't do them all the time. When it's like something I learned about cleaning the dishwasher, like, you're not going to make a shock face. So I think the thumbnail really has to reflect the content in a way that's meaningful and authentic, so that if someone clicks on it, they really are getting what they signed up for, if that makes sense. Because if you put a thumbnail that isn't parallel to the content that you're putting in your video, you're kind of ripping your potential audience off in a sense. And I think that's not going to help you grow. You know, like from a subscriber standpoint, they'll say, oh, I wasn't expecting that from the thumbnail. I'm not subscribing.
It can be like clickbaity, right? In a sense, like a bait and switch. Right?
Precisely.
So that's something you got to watch out for, folks, when you're making your thumbnails. Like, are you bringing them in? Like, sometimes we get so creative in the thumbnail making process that you forget, like, this thumbnail actually needs to say something true about the video. We always believe my best performing thumbnails have always been a thumbnail of me showing you kind of like the heart of the video. Like, I'm going to be drawing on a whiteboard in this video. And when I show that in the thumbnail, the video tends to do well. I think it sets the stage. For me personally, some of the more like, you know, YouTube-y things just haven't worked. Now, Nick, you told me something interesting about the color yellow that I was reminded of. Do you remember what you told me about the color yellow?
I can't remember, but lay it on me.
It's like America's most hated color, right? It's like the color that
that's orange.
Oh, is it orange?
Not yellow.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Orange. So basically with orange, as people age, they like orange less and less, which I thought was an interesting thing about color.
It's interesting because old people move to Florida where all the oranges are, and everything's
orange, right?
Yeah, if you've ever been to Florida, everything's orange. It's phenomenal. It's an interesting color choice. Graham Hoffman, logging in from the UK, is asking a great question. He says that he found your like a vlogging channel. So he asked you this. He says, why did she have her own Melissa Maker and Clean My Space YouTube channels, and what caused her to focus on the Clean My Space channel?
That's a great question. I have that second channel because there are things that I want to talk about on YouTube, but it's just not appropriate to discuss on the Clean My Space channel.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of creators will not really be sure what to do with their channel and what's appropriate for their channel or not. But when I think of Clean My Space, I really see it as a silo. It's cleaning, organizing, decluttering. It's a lifestyle, really. But it's the lifestyle that people are signing up for when they're signing up for Clean My Space. So, for example, right now this is our new house and we're going through this massive renovation. We've been filming everything. We're calling the series Dream Home Reno. We're so excited about it and we know our audience is going to love it. However, there are things I want to talk about outside of that. Like when I was pregnant, I wanted to talk about a few pregnancy things. When I like to talk about business things. I don't want to talk about that on the Clean My Space channel. So I have a separate channel for that. Now, unfortunately, because I have so much going on, that channel is really neglected. But I talk about it with Chad all the time. I really want to get back into it because I love making videos on my own channel.
Yeah. Well, I think you have the potential to be an influencer too in the business space, right? In terms of like how I did all these wonderful different things that I'm doing. But I think the big takeaway there is that if you want to start talking about things not related to your main topic content, you got to do that on another channel. And that one is more of like, this is a place where you just kind of put your thoughts. So it's pregnancy and business on this vlogging channel. It's all things Melissa Maker. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's anything aside from cleaning that I want to talk about.
Right.
Pretty much that's what goes on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, big shout out to Zach Talks Tech dropping $20 in the super chat on YouTube, and that's cool. We appreciate that. You can always drop a tip in the super chat. We don't ask for them, but when they do come in, we appreciate them. It helps us to keep this show moving. So, Melissa Maker, you've got 1 million subscribers. You've got a successful business. I want to ask some questions about how you're planning to grow. Talk to us about how you're planning to take your microfiber business. By the way, everything we have in here is microfiber. We are like cleaning hippies. 99% of all of our cleaning products are 100% natural. To me, the house doesn't even if it doesn't smell like bleach, it's not clean, right? My wife is like, no, it doesn't need to smell like bleach. Right, this microfiber cloth. So tell us, in this marketplace, how are you planning to launch a new product business?
Well, first of all, Teresa's right. Sorry, Owen. She's right. There you go, Teresa. Basically, we started that business because we saw an opportunity. And what I have to say is, I went into cleaning not because I love cleaning. I hate cleaning. But I saw a huge opportunity, and that's why I went there. So what I do is I look for different opportunities, and I chase them. So I saw an opportunity with microfiber because I would talk about it, and the microfiber cloths that I had access to, being a professional cleaning business, were completely different from what was available on the market. So if you were to just go to a big box store and try and find microfiber cloths, you could not get the quality that I was loving and talking about on my channel. So that gap right there showed me an opportunity, and that's where we decided, and that's why we decided to build that company. So I think that people need to do, if they're looking to create an online business or they want to get in, digital product digital, whatever it is, you have to see where those gaps are, and then you have to see if it's a viable business opportunity, study it, research it, and if it is, go for it.
So now that you've gone for it, right, you've decided to do it, you've pulled the trigger on production and marketing and branding. How are you going to sell these things? Are you going into shopping malls? Are you going into online stores? Are you going to use them through your Melissa Maker 1 million subscribers channels? Are you going to provide them to your cleaning staff and leave notes when the guests come home, right? Hey, you might want to try our fiber cloths. What is your plan to get into the marketplace?
So we've been operating for a couple of years now, and really the only channel of distribution that we've used to date has been our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we direct people online to a website. So if they see our content and they want our costs, we direct them to our website. They can buy them through our website. We just started an Instagram account. And that alone has been so successful that it's made us a little bit, I hate to use the word, but a little bit lazy because it's just done well. Yeah. However, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So we've been looking at how can we get into retail and what kind of retailers would be interested in these costs, because these are premium. So we have to find stores and retailers who are interested in carrying something that's going to be a little bit more expensive. In terms of cleaning services, when we were at our trade show last week, the big cleaning one, we decided to talk to other cleaning business owners and work out a wholesale program.
Yeah.
Because we would like them to buy from us. And as you were saying earlier, we would love for them to sell them to their clients, which is something that we do at our business already.
Fantastic. So you've got a plan and you've got the leverage of a successful YouTube channel behind the plan. We're talking with Melissa Maker, 1 million subscribers, successful business in, what did Gord Weiss call it? Gord Weiss. What did Gord Eisman call it? Greater Toronto Area, GTA. He says she's got a successful business in the GTA and launching a product business. And you're watching the Business of Video podcast. Let's talk tactical. I want to get quick with you. I want to get punchy with you. Let's talk about YouTube and video marketing. For people like you, what is working on YouTube? Give us your best tips, Melissa Maker.
What works really well when it comes to marketing, especially for the microfiber cloths, is just being repetitive with the same message, but being creative and kind in the way that you're delivering it. So not annoying people, not being obnoxious, not hitting them over the head with it. But when I'm doing a cleaning task, I'll say, "Oh yeah, and I'm cleaning this counter with a microfiber cloth, Maker's microfiber cloth." So these little things like that are kind of cheeky. The audience knows, and it works. I mean, the days that our videos are launched are our highest days aside from sales for sales of our cloths.
Great. That's fantastic. Okay, on the flip side, what is not working? What should we be avoiding in the videos that we create?
Again, I can go back
in general, like a good video, bad video, wherever you want to take it.
I think what you should be avoiding is annoying your audience. So really listening to feedback. Listening to feedback and seeing, okay, what are they liking? Doing more of that. And the thing, I was bothered when people said, "I don't like when you do this." And then I decided, okay, if I were to just take out the emotions and look at the actual material and the comment that someone was saying, and if I gave them the benefit of the doubt and they don't like when I do this, I should stop doing it and see what happens. So I think the way to endear yourself to your audience is to find out what they really like about what you do and what they don't like about what you do. And I found that being annoying, things that I used to do that annoyed people, I had to stop doing.
Like what?
Can we get an example really quick? Like before we move on, can we get an example of the things that you do to where people are giving you that feedback and they're like, "Hey, we don't like this
is horrible. This
thing."
is
Just for other people that are watching, it might be doing the same thing.
So one of the things that I did, and it wasn't even something that I knew I was doing, but I had vocal fry. Do you guys know what vocal fry is?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
People, just imagine what Kim Kardashian sounds like when she talks, where she goes like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like voice fatigue, like throat fatigue. Sure.
Right. So I had a lot of people saying your material is great, but I can't stand that vocal fry. And I didn't even know what it was. I could Google vocal fry. And then I would get comments on those comments. And I was like, "Ew, what is that? I got to deal with that." So I actually went into vocal lessons, not for singing, but for speaking. And I learned how to better control my voice, so I eliminated the vocal fry.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Geezer Skate Co. is at, and I got so many questions on that because I have been digging deep into vocal lessons. I do warm-ups now, and I do these odd little like things to get my tongue. We're live streaming sometimes 3 times a day for a week. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of vocality that we're using. Geezer Skate Co, who's just rocking the comments right now. Good to have you out here, Geezer. is saying, do you find that information in your audience retention graphs? Like when people are logging out, you know, like, or are you using your comments more as a gauge?
So because we're a team of 4, I don't pay a lot of attention to the analytics because I'm spoiled and I don't have to.
Yeah.
Because we're a little bit bigger now. So that's something where my husband or Lucas, who's the other person I was talking about, they really dig into the analytics. And I know that's something that YouTube and a lot of the YouTube gurus really encourage you to do. So I would definitely say it's a great practice if you're just sort of a one-man or one-woman show. For me, I always look at comments because that's just an easy metric for me. I can sort of take the temperature on how the audience is feeling about a video or a concept.
Yeah.
And that will just let me know where they're at. And I can just quickly use that feedback. Because I feel like the audience really moves as a whole, like as a big body.
Yeah.
Instead of all of this, random smattering of opinions, you tend to get the same opinion, whether it's good or bad. Like you can really get the sense of where they're all at as a whole. Yeah. So I just like to read, a bunch of comments and see where everybody's at on something. And then that I stick it in my back pocket for next time.
Yeah. Huge indicator. And you know what? This is a lesson on leadership and tipping points as well. I'll often, like, people will have a comment. They'll think, oh, I didn't like your shirt. Right? But then they go to the comment section and they go, oh, vocal fry or froggy voice. And they go, you know what? That bothered me more than the shirt. And so they're already kind of in the mood to comment, right? So they comment on this thing because they agree with it more. And then more people, and then they see that building. Oh, this got 2 comments. I'm going to comment on this, right? And you kind of get this voting, this almost like this democratic process, right, of seeing what it is that your audience wants to see from you. Great question coming in from Teresa. She says, did you take speech lessons? Do you do anything like that to help communicate on camera?
That's a great question, Teresa. I actually took some media training probably 2 or 3 years into creating video. And I found a lady who offered it. She was a former national news anchor, and then she just went on to do media training. And I took a 1-day course with her. And that was about as much as I needed. One of the things that I did, and this is something for anybody who creates video, you have to just get over watching yourself. Because a lot of us feel just horrified when we watch ourselves. We're our worst critics. But I've learned to just separate myself from the video, which is actually a super healthy thing to do. And I can just watch myself and say, okay, I did that well. I don't like the way I did that. So next time I'm going to try and fix the way that was done. And I log all of it. So rather than going to a professional, now I just watch myself and I know what I like in other people who I watch. Yeah. So I try to find where those gaps are and fill them with my own performance.
Yeah, phenomenal. You know, getting that professional foundation to create momentum for the future, I think, is huge, and self-analysis is awesome. Now, I will say this. You outsource your analytics, right? I don't think you consider it outsourcing because you're not doing it. But Geezer asked the question a little bit earlier, and we're getting Jane Stewart is heart bombing us, and Joanne Jackson are heart bombing us on Facebook right now. We've got just a killer audience watching on YouTube as well. You know, being able to get the ball rolling and then analyze yourself, right? And Geezer Skateco was asking about what do you outsource? I think analytics is probably one of those things because you're personally not involved in it, you know, and that's, I know for me, I hate the analytics side of it. I take it very personally.
Yeah. Well, I have my husband and Lucas do it. And some people are like, Nick, they love it. And for me, I'm just like, no, I want to see the comments. I like the touchy-feely. Let someone else deal with the numbers.
Yeah, I'm totally that guy. Nick, you're the opposite?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I'm not big on math, but I love the actual, like, you know, because like in analytics you don't need, you know, tons of math. So like I like just going in and looking for like patterns and looking for clues and looking for things to where, like, for me, I do it for that. Oh wow, I didn't notice that. I do it for that moment. Yeah, that like, oh wow, that's interesting. Like I do it for that moment. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. And, you know, I'm the guy who's like, I'm a brilliant mind in my analytics. I look at my analytics and I'm like 2 minutes retention time plus the 3 minutes of watch time over here plus 5 videos a week and 3 thumbnails a month. I'm never gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like, that's my life. I just explained to you my Friday afternoon. Melissa Maker, we got to wrap. Before we go, I want to ask a big question. Okay, pretend that I'm a brand new business owner. I want to leave my corporate job, and I want to start a service-based business, providing a service, providing my expertise, maybe my cleaning or organizing tips to people. What is your biggest piece of advice for creating a video campaign or a video that will actually work for my business? What is your recommendation for me in that scenario?
I would suggest that you think about your core message and make sure that you're really clear on it. Because if you're not clear on it, people aren't going to feel compelled to use your service.
Yep.
And then once you're clear about what your core message is, find a way to make people feel like they cannot live without the thing that you are offering. In my service business, I always go on the emotional aspect of when you walk into a home and you feel overwhelmed and you can't relax, and that's like the worst feeling.
Yeah.
So I try to sell that good feeling, and that's done really well. So try to find that good feeling, make it feel like someone can't live without it, be authentic and honest in your message, and make a video about it. How hard could that be?
Oh, I think that is wonderful. Guys, focus on the after state. Really build a lot of pain for the now state. And then you buy my product and the after state, and you're going to experience this joy, and you'll finally have this thing. Great advice from Melissa Maker, someone who is doing it and doing it well. Melissa, how do we stay in touch with you and follow what you're doing?
You can use the handle @CleanMySpace or @Melissa Maker on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/CleanMySpace. And I hope all of you subscribe.
That's right. We'll put those links in the description box if they're not there already. And Melissa, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And we want to hear from you in the audience. Who do you want us to have on the show? What types of guests, what types of skills do you want to learn, especially as we are coming into the holiday season? We're coming around to 2019. We want to know for next season's episodes, who should we be interviewing? Who are the people in your lives that you want to hear from? We'll reach out to them. And I would love to hear everybody, whether they're a small local business owner doing something well, or whether it's a major marketing thought leader that you pie in the sky. Maybe Owen can get him on the show. Hey, hint, I could probably get him on the show, right? So we'd love to hear from you guys. Nick, any final words before we close out today?
Hope everybody has an awesome week. Melissa was sharing some awesome information there. It was great having her on. It was awesome, seeing you do your thing. Always just like my favorite part of sitting here, man, is watching you do your thing.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. So yeah, man, just enjoyed another episode, man. This has been fantastic.
I love it too. Every time we get together, it gets more fun. And just so you guys know, this isn't a Bible, right? I wouldn't mind having my Bible, but it's actually a planner, and I'm writing my notes in it. People are like, Owen's doing a church program next. It's like, welcome to church with Owen. Today,
welcome to church with video. Welcome to video church.
The video church, right? I love it. Lots more coming up, guys. Don't go anywhere. Type 5 if you're watching us on Facebook. Subscribe to the show. And if you're watching on YouTube or listening on iTunes, click that big old subscribe button so that you don't fall behind, but instead move ahead in the business of video marketing. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Business of Video podcast. If you like the show, give us a review on iTunes or share this episode on social media now. Join us next time on Facebook Live. Just visit businessofvideopodcast.com and subscribe to the newsletter updates. This podcast is brought to you by Tuber Tools and BizTubeAcademy.com.
Right now, and I know almost no one's ever going to see this. I want to give you guys kind of like a quick look at what we're doing back here. So Jason's going to grab camera number 2. Can you grab camera number 2 and just kind of show everybody what we're doing? So Jason's over here behind the scenes. Jason, go ahead and grab the charger. We're keeping the camera charged with the battery pack. You can even show them the battery pack. That's how you can see it there. And notice, guys, how the November 7th pops up on the lower right-hand side of the screen. On the lower right-hand side of the screen, when you see that November 7th, we can't get rid of that unless we flip the thing around. So flip the thing around, right, and it disappears. Now I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Let's bring it back here, Jason. Go ahead and flip it around again so you guys are going to see the day. Take a look at my setup over here. I've just got like a simple desk that we got from that we got from, IKEA, I guess. And I keep my coffee. Look at down here. I've actually got my backup coffee down here, which I've already finished, and that kind of just stays in there. I'm using an IEP right here, and that goes into my shirt and then down. Can you want to show them the cable and how the cable kind of goes down? That goes down into the soundboard, which is over there, if you want to show them the soundboard. Right, boom. How cool is that? So we got all the sound kind of going into a soundboard. We're using Rode mics. And those mics are attached to these cool adapters that you can only get from Rode that help it. You can take a look at the box again, Jace. See how the Rode mics, they go into those little point to those little adapters right there. Yeah, those little adapters. That enables the microphone to go from an XLR to a 3.5 millimeter, which not everybody gets to see. Let's show Melissa. Let's back out. It's just darkness, dude. That's like all I can see. So this is vMix. We're using vMix right here to mix the show up. And I'll tell you, vMix is a heavy, heavy product, but it is amazing. It's what enables us to dual stream on YouTube and onto iTunes, and you can or onto Facebook, and you can see sort of like all the different things that are set up. And Melissa is running all of that. Let's back up and get a shot of Melissa and her workstation. She's probably not going to turn around. Yeah, that's Melissa. What's up? For those of you that were at Vid Summit, you got a chance to meet Melissa and hang out with her a little bit. And then, of course, oh, yeah, show them the comments. This is how we get comments on the screen. It's amazing. We've, like, retained a big part of the audience here. Yeah, boom. And then you see my desk set up in here right there. You know, my desk is set up like that's where I work right there. I don't always have that red clock there, but we do use it for the show so that I can sort of see how long we've been on. And then if you guys see in my book here, show them the book. If you guys see in my book, I've got all the notes right here for the show today, and so I'll be able to repurpose those videos, and I know what time it is based on that red clock that was right over here. Okay, so Jason, let me grab the camera from you. No, I see it. I'm not going to go too far from you. Right? So this is Jason, everybody. Jason is my right-hand wingman, and he's helping me to just get this company to the next level. We're doing some fun stuff together. And let's see. It's like a rule not to include the laundry in the thing. All right, so I can't hear anybody, but let's just follow me. Can we walk? See how far we can get out here. How far out this way can you get? See how far we can bring it. Come on. I want to show you guys. So I just want to show you guys what's going on. I think that's as far as we can go. What do we see here? Let me just kind of look at it. What do we see here? We have two. Come here, Scotty. We have two little girls here. This is my friend Rosalie. Hi, Rose. This is my friend Rosalie. This is Jason's nephew. This is my Scotty girl right here. And they work with us while we're building the company. They work all the stuff, and my wife is over here doing stuff, and this is what we do. So, if you want to go back to camera one. So, boom. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little behind the scenes tour. I want to thank you guys just so much for being. You can't hear me anymore? Oh, I moved away from the microphone. Duh. I thought I was wearing my my thing. We want to thank you guys for just being a part of the Business of Video podcast. You know, this podcast is a joy for me. Like it's a real exercise in like just content and production. And you guys notice we like take a step up every week. We're trying to do something different every week. And I think yeah, the mic doesn't work that far out. I learned that the hard way. I think that what we're going to do is, you know, you're going to see some changes in the show. We're going to be focusing a lot more on the business side of video. We've been talking this season with a lot of creators, people that I've been dying to have on the show, and I'm so grateful for them. as we move forward, our real fit in this marketplace is serving the business community. This is what I love. It's a passion for me. Business entrepreneurialism has literally saved my life. You know, I went from getting fired job after job after job. I've had 21 jobs. I've been fired 22 times. One company had to fire me twice. And there's a story about that. But I remember even the day he fired me, he was like, come on, man, if you had just told me that we fired you before, he's like, we probably would have hired you again. This is what he does. He goes, we probably would have just hired you. Right? And then he looked away, and it was kind of like, no, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. And it got hard, guys. It got hard filling out application after application, fake resume after fake resume. Like, hey, buddy, hey, can you be can you say, because I got fired from that last job, can you say that you were my boss and you worked for me and da-da-da-da-da? I got tired of it, and it wasn't until I had asked my wife, I was like, look, I am not cut out for this. Like, I'm trying to do the dad thing. I'm trying to do the work every day thing, and it just is not working for me. What do you think about starting a business? This is about 7 years ago. And she says, well, what choice do we have? Right? Like, what choice do we have? She's like, you seem to enjoy this. It's working, right? Because I was already making some sales. And we went full steam into business, and we want to share what we did. We want to share, like, the tactics, the sales funnels, the types of videos that you guys should be making, and what you should be saying in them. So if you're a creator and you want to create a media business where you're getting sponsorships, tune into the show. I think you're going to learn a lot about growing a business. I think you'll learn less about how to maximize YouTube and the coolest YouTube tools to use. That's what Nick's channel's for. Nick does a great job with that. We're going to be talking about the business side of thing. If you're a service-based business owner, if you're a consultant, if you're a training company, if you're a salesperson, if you're a chiropractor, if you own a company, right, and you want to use video. It's like Melissa said, right? She says, we're blessed to want and to know how to make video. If that's you, I think this show, the next season, is going to knock your socks off. Right, we've got a lot of great stuff planned. In fact, today and next week's going to be a planning day. So I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you and how much we appreciate you tuning in every week, sharing, commenting, and being a part of our network. You are Owen Video, and I can't wait to do this next season with you. Geezer Skateco is, I'd like to hear from someone who started a very small niche company successfully. Not sure who that would be. You know, I think that me, it's not necessarily me, it's the people we're going to interview, right? We already have interviews lined up for these little tiny, how did you do this business, right? Peck rock type businesses. What about product-based business? I think, Geezer, what you'll find is that a lot of product-based businesses are actually service-based businesses. When you think about it, they just sell a product additionally, right? So Kathy Fit, for example, is a Beachbody coach, and she sells shakes. Right? But the whole idea is if you add service to that, you'll sell more shakes. So, for example, there's 1,000 shakes out there nobody wants to buy because they all get pressured into it, right? So what if your approach was, I'm going to sell you a fitness motivation and a private Facebook group, and you get 2 free shakes a month. What does it cost? Well, it costs the price of 2 shakes, right? They're paying for the shake, but they're getting this additional service. So with you, Geezer, number one, you are going to need to know the basics, the fundamentals of how to sell your product and how to push that product out through Amazon and through Shopify and these other great channels. You know who's really good at that? Reezy Resells. Reezy Resells on YouTube. He does a lot of great work in that space. But you're going to also want to look at, Geezer, how to offer a service in addition to the product they're buying. So maybe this is a private Facebook group. Maybe this is a weekly live stream or a how to maximize your use of the product, or maybe it's a meetup group, right? Make that the core of your service so that people are buying more and they're referring more, not just to get the product, but to be a part of the community you've created around the product, right? Moon Allure is saying, I signed on late but didn't sell off. Kathy Fit is saying that we sell more than I get it. I get what you're saying, but again, it's a bigger thing. Dan Norton is saying, about to meet Evan Carmichael in NYC, already repping the OV shirt, learning from the right entrepreneurs. Great guy, great example of a niche business that's doing extremely well. Joanne Jackson says, thank you for what you guys do. Graham Hoffman is saying, you're unemployable. I love it. Hey, I'm right there with you. Devontae Goins, glad to have you in the community. All right, let's sign off. Jason, do you know how to sign us off? Let's sign off, guys. Great to see you. Great to meet you, and I'll see you on the next show. Oh, I didn't even. Is Nick still there? I didn't even realize Nick was still there. No, she's frozen. If she's frozen, she logged off. Is Nick frozen too? I didn't hear him. He's probably on mute. Yeah, Nick, Melissa left, so we don't really know how to use the software. How sad is that? How's that for outsourcing? Hey, did she leave? Did she go to work? Hey, hang on a second. I think what's going to happen, Nick, is that the coaster's going to fall out. Boom, look at that. Nick, crushed it. Look at that red one. Is that red thing down there, does that mean mute? Yeah. I have no idea. Well, Nick, we can't get your thing on mute or off mute, but